Okay, my fellow Americans, Mr. Trump and Mr. Pence have taken it to the people. They have asked us to document and report on voter fraud in every county in this entire nation. I have done so. I have reported it, and this presentation is to show you exactly how to do so. If you will do this and not make any excuses, we will put Mr. Trump in the White House. God bless America. We have all been subjected to victims of fraud. Never Trumpers are people, and many other groups that you're aware of have been vehemently against Donald Trump for president, and they are among those that oppose our efforts to fix the voter system that is rigged against us with fraud, massive fraud. Each of us has a list of who we used to call our friends, but now we know who they are. The point here, folks, is that they make the biggest, lousiest, lamest bunch of lies and arguments in order to justify the reason they don't want Trump, when the reality is they know Trump will fix the fraud, including USDA entitlement fraud. That is what's behind all of it. You know that by now. How do we do this? The resources are on the internet. Social networks like Facebook, Twitter, Google, etc. are excellent places to find the names first. Second is to find the city where they actually live. Third is to find the address where the voter fraud is located. Keep in mind, the address is always where you find the fraud. And I don't care whether it's life insurance fraud or welfare fraud or any other USDA entitlement frauds or medical insurance fraud. They all apply. You cannot get paid unless they have a place to send the money. That also applies to how you register to vote. Now, here comes the commitment. In order to be able to do a full background check on any individual and their family, you must first be willing to spend a measly $19.95 per month for 1 month in order to get us through the November 8th election. My favorite is a company called peoplesmart.com. I use this program because it connects the dots. It's a very, very good program. You will find a very simple search menu, which is then used to document what is on the public record. Nothing that is in the pages of what you find in a background check comes from anywhere other than what is on the public record, either from the government or a vending company such as the telephone company that they're registered with their phone number. That's what you will see. And any of the addresses that are listed in the address history of that person. Again, you find the fraud in the address search. How do I identify the frauds, you might ask? Well, here's the deal. What you look for is way, way, way too many persons listed as currently living at that address. This is called ballot harvesting in the state of Arizona, and I believe it is also true that it's illegal in most states in the rest of this country, because Arizona is always the last one in the country to enact a law that everybody already has. Number 2, alias names. If you know the people, which you should have already established, you will find names that were created, keyword created, using forged, keyword forged, birth certificates to obtain fake driver's licenses at the local motor vehicle division. I'm going to state this again clearly. This requires a forged document, which is another felony. This is how you locate voter fraud, and it comes with a big list of other felonies, including RICO law violations. This is, in fact, how we get Trump elected. This is what they're asking us to do. Okay, now what do? Document the fraud. You find with a simple screensaver program. Pardon me. I like Screenshot Capture, but there are many. The point is to capture the fraud you find on the People Smart search and save it to a file, because you're going to need it for evidence later as we follow the process. Get this point very clearly, my patriotic friends. The fraud is so rampant, what you will find will be very obvious. And this is all Trump is asking of us. We have got this. We have got this. We have got this. The next step is simply to go to your local county recorder's office. What you will find there is a very simple database that will allow you to search any name or any address found within that county. It's a jurisdictional issue. You cannot vote any other way. I recommend to you that you go as a group, because they will not like you to be there doing this voter fraud report. I put this in parentheses because we already know law enforcement refuses to do anything to help us enforce the law as it pertains to fraud. So it would be very helpful if a cop or a deputy sheriff was present. We don't expect that, but try anyway, just to make the point. Officer, sheriff, local Gestapo, call them what you want. Why not support our efforts to simply enforce the law? Do we as American citizens no longer have any rights? Do you have the right as an officer to express your opinion, officer, about whether or not we as American citizens have rights? All we are asking for is the law itself to be enforced. Why not? Take your camera with you, folks. They will not like the fact that you are there. They'll figure it out right away. Even if you tell them you just want to look at the voter rolls, they'll figure it out, especially if you come in a group. Listen to this. They threatened to forcibly throw me out in Maricopa County because I was there to do this. I documented it and I reported it. Nothing has been done about it by any of the law enforcement community. All we're asking you to do is the same thing Trump is asking of all of us. Take the time to do the effort, do the work, put it on the record, prove the point, and put it on the police department record so it can be pointed at, if necessary, in civil courts in the event that Mr. Trump loses the election due to voter fraud. I hope you all understand the point by now. At this point, someone should call the police. It doesn't matter who, because specifically, Mr. Officer, which laws are being broken here? We, the people, asking to look at the voter rolls? Show me the violation before you arrest me. All we want is the law to be enforced. So the bottom line here in parenthesis says it all. We want them to call 911 because the point is to get them to file a police report. If they don't call and they don't allow you to exercise your rights as an American citizen, then someone should call the police. Get it on the public record with the police is the point. Now, how do you cover yourself? I have included this law, which is Arizona State Law 2023. It's right there in blue. Click on that, print it out, take the law with you. That is your Bill of Rights. Take it with you. If they try to arrest you, you have rights, and we will beat them as a group. Please understand that. We have power in numbers, which is the point of this entire presentation. Mr. Trump is asking us to do this for our country. Here are some examples of what you will find. The public records show these people in this particular example do not live at this address. I know the people that do. You should make sure of that before you go to the recorder's office. I know what I'm talking about. The record shows in this particular case ballot harvesting because the people that currently live there do not appear on this list. If any of those show up after the election, that will be conclusive evidence that they violated the law. Just the fact that their current registrations at that address indicates that they voted in the last election illegally, and that will remain on the record for until somebody decides to purge it. That's the point. Take a good look. Does this look like anybody in this list that are family members of anybody else on the list of family members? Come on, you guys. This is pathetic. No last names are family. That's what the law says. Read it. You can send a family member's ballot in if they are members of your family. Otherwise, according to the law, you must be a government official, which is obviously the exemption that they wrote into it in the state of Arizona, because they always do. They're involved in the fraud, people. We cannot trust our own government. Here's an example of an alias name. Voting in Mesa, Arizona. Keeping in mind, I know the real names of all of these people from birth. I know who they are. Know the whole family very well. I will not name names, but I will tell you for a fact that some of the names listed on this list are not in fact their real names. And when we get to the Motor Vehicle Division records of these people, they will find pictures on driver's licenses indicating that they are more than one identity voting in the state of Arizona. They are frauds. And again, I will make note that in order to get a fake driver's license, you have violated a lot of other laws. This is how we take our country back. Here's another one taken from Navajo County, Arizona. As you can see, there is one name highlighted here that does not fit within the family structure of being within the law. Know all of these people very well. From birth, all my life. That is voter fraud. Now, I'm going to say this one more time. The people that own that house, the people that live in that house, the people that are from that family know that this particular person highlighted is not and never has lived at that address makes all of them complicit in the voter fraud, and therefore, according to our own Maricopa County Attorney's Office, Bill Montgomery, that qualifies as RICO law and a violation, and that automatically sends all of them to prison for 25 years. Enough said. No more excuses, folks. I just did it for you. It's up to you now. What will your excuses be? Let's make America great again.